During the Second Age, the world was dominated by an empire the likes of which had never been seen. The grand city of Sentistan acted as the centre of a world that knelt before the almighty, empty Lord. All who stood in the empire's way were crushed, made to bend the knee. It has been millennia since the fall of this ancient empire, yet still remnants cling to life. Some small shreds that refuse to fade into history. It's July 26th, and that means it's Desert Treasure 2 Day. The original Desert Treasure came out way back in 2005, so let's see how Jagex decides to follow up a nearly 20-year-old quest. This quest is a Grand Master level quest, just like Song of the Elves and Dragon Slayer 2. As a result, it has some pretty steep requirements. Thieving being a tricky one, that skill sucks shit, and 60 construction, which is expensive for mains and long as hell for Ironmen. DT2 also requires a really long list of quests, including Desert Treasure 1 and Secrets of the North. Like the original quest, there's going to be 4 bosses to take on, but this time they'll be worthwhile to fight after the quest is over. So far, all I know about them is their names, so we'll be discovering some stuff together. Amongst the bosses we have the Leviathan, Vardorvis, Duke Cecellus, and the Whisperer. As always, special thanks to the patrons for keeping the channel going. More information at the end of the video or in the description box below. That's a really nice login screen. Let's go. Start the Desert Treasure 2 The Fallen Empire quest? I think I will. You can feel the distinct energy of ancient magics emanating from the door. You reach out to touch it, but nothing happens. Huh? Okay, so I'm already lost. Maybe I need an ancient icon with me. Also, I'm keeping the wiki up and just refreshing it in case people like update what to do. Oh, you have to be on the ancient... Okay, you have to be on the ancient magic spellbook. That's annoying because I brought runes for like teleporting everywhere. I think it's worth pointing out that I do have the wiki up while I'm doing the quest, but I'm not using it all the time. I'm just using it when I get completely stuck and need to keep this moving. Okay. Enter vault door. You can feel the distinct energy of ancient magics emanating from the door. You reach out and touch it. The symbol on the door starts to glow in response. Upon entering the tomb, we're greeted by Asgarnia Smith, who we, of course, know. Asgarnia Smith? Who the fuck is this guy? He's apparently been trying to get in here for ages, but had no idea how. We were just able to walk right in, very easily. No problems encountered. He's going to be dead before the end of the quest. Mark my fucking words. Let's take a look at these statues. I guess these are the bosses. Oh, the Whisperer. Carnifex Maximus Vardorvis. Prefectus Classis Perseria. Oh, that's not one of the... That might be the Duke Cecellus. And this looks like a Muspa. Oh, this is Duke Cecellus of the 6th Legion. Holy shit. Man's a worm. Let it be known that we, the ever-faithful servants of the Empty Lord, have bound this vault in his name. Here his mighty treasures will be forever safe from the soulless betrayers and all others who would dare oppose the might of the Empire. This Empire shit goes hard, man. I guess Perseria is the Leviathan. Asgarnia gives us a pat on the bum, sends us on our way to the dig site to speak to Terry Balando. It looks like this is in the same style as Desert Treasure 1, so we'll need to retrieve something from each of the 4 bosses to enter the vault, so we best be on our way. Shouldn't take too long. Terry Balando. Terry Balando. We tell Terry about our discovery. It's been sat there for ages, but I just decided today was a good day to walk in. And he tells us that an expert has set up a dig in the dig site. One Dr. Banneken. Right, the wiki's telling me I need a pickaxe, so I'm just gonna go grab one of those and back to the dig site. Right, you said on the eastern side of the dig site, so I'm looking for Dr. Banneken. We track down the doctor, and we tell him about our discovery as well. Dr. Banneken, I presume. I like his hat. He looks a bit funky. He's gonna turn out to be evil. I'm calling it now, 100%. This motherfucker's a Majorat. They can like shapeshift and that. What brings you down here, adventurer? You're a Zerosian expert on account of you being a Majorat, motherfucker. He tells us to mine, not blow up, mine the nearby rubble so that we can get down below. It's worth noting that the dig site is located around where Santistan, the Zerosian capital, is said to have been. Banniken alleges that there is a military installation below that should hold a wealth of information, and wouldn't you believe it, we find a military installation below that holds a wealth of information. But first... Oh geez, I didn't expect this so soon. Can I mine this motherfucker? He's like made of rock. Oh yeah, I see. Get your shit rocked, mate. Oh god, oh god. And destroyed. With the Ancient Guardian dispatched, Banniken comes down and gives us shit for destroying it. He's not wrong, I do have a penchant for destroying things. It's kind of what I do, man. In this installation there's a central room with some kind of chained up golem. I don't want to know whose kink this was. The golem needs powering up, so we look around. It needs 8 cells. Oh. There's just cells here. To the left there's a room with 4 pillars. We just need to cast a corresponding ancient spell on each one to charge the cells. Let's go ice. Oh, this kind of spell won't work on the totem. Oh, okay, yeah, I just clicked on the wrong totem. Ice. Blood. Shadow. And smoke. You empower the last totem and the altar begins to give off magical energy. And then it's puzzle time. Oh no. Oh no. 1 cell per section, 1 cell per row, 1 cell per column, no adjacent cells. So this one has to be here or here. So if we pop this one here, actually we put this one here, this guy here, this guy here, here. That should be it. Ow. What did I do wrong? Oh, per column. Okay, so that has to go there. Regardless of where this one goes, this one has to go here. Which means that this one can't go here. This one has to go here. So this guy here? No, wait, this guy can go down here. Fuck. If I put you there and you there. No adjacent cells. Are these adjacent? Yep. What if I put this there and this there? Hey, there we go. 3rd time's a charm. After a nice short puzzle, we can now search for stuff in the golem's memory banks, so I try each of the 4 bosses' names to see if I can find out whereabouts to find them all. Search for Fardorvis. Fardorvis, designation ally, race vampire. Okay, so I'll probably need my blisterwood flail. Travelled west in pursuit. I do remember one of the archaeologists, Alyssa, I think is her name, saying she'd visited Loverkenge. She probably didn't encounter this Fardorvis while there. The Whisperer. Data output. The Whisperer, ally, siren, rank classified, presumed deceased. The Whisperer was stationed at Lassar when the fortress fell. Lassar, one of the old Zerosian fortresses built atop Ice Mountain. Camdazal. Oh! Maybe in the vault of Camdazal. The golem here looks suspiciously like the ones I've seen there. I only went once, I never went back. Saradominists built a new city over the top of Santistan. It's quite possible the dwarfs did the same at Lassar. Chthonian. Oh, he's Cthulhu-esque. Rank Legatus, acting Legatus Maximus. Status alive. Last known location in Gorok. Duke Cicellus has taken informal command of the remaining forces of the Holy Empire. I think I know where the entry to this one is. It's in a dungeon under Vice. I had quite the adventure there not too long ago. Okay, so that's up in Vice, where the Musper is. Berseria. Presumed deceased. Last known location, the Eastern Sea. Berseria's ship was lost to the Abyss at the Battle for the Eye. Find what you wanted? What's he looking for? I need to consult with a good friend of mine on this. Forgive me, but he lives quite far from here, so best I don't delay. Man's hella suspicious. Please specify a search term. Repeat last search. Checking. Frostenhorn. Last known location, Santistan. With basic knowledge of each of the boss's whereabouts, I set off to collect the 4 pieces I need to access the ancient tomb. Find out what happened to each of these 4. Where do we start? I guess I'll just go from top down. I need to find out what happened to Vardorvis. The information I found at the dig site implied he travelled to Kurend. Alyssa, one of the dig site archaeologists, apparently visited the kingdom recently. I should see if she can help me. Right, let's go find Alyssa. From what I found out about Vardorvis, he travelled west to chase Yonrith Loverkenge over to Kurend. Apparently, Alyssa at the dig site was there recently, so I go for a little chat with her, and she sends me to the Burning Man statue in the centre of Loverkenge. I've always thought this was just a funky piece of set dressing, but it turns out the Burning Man actually means something. Barris, who I find next to it, explains that it has to do with the defeat of Vardorvis, or rather, an ancient evil. He then mentions a place called the Stranglewood, that a Hasidian botanist was looking into. The botanist went missing recently, so I search his house. Tucked away in his desk I find a strange potion and a note. The latest test seems to be successful, but seems is the key word here. Samples from the Stranglewood are unsurprisingly in short supply, so proving my theory is difficult. Still, if all goes well, while it won't fully protect from infection, this potion should provide some defense against the Strangler parasite. With the potion sorted, the only thing left now is the boat. There's a small bay south of Quidamorton that should be a suitable place to row out from. I'll arrange for the boat to be sent there. We take the boat, which is kind of strange that it's still here. This Stranglewood place is supposed to be really dangerous. I should probably get myself some sort of protection before heading there. What do you mean? I'm wearing protection. Drink the strange potion. Okay. We head over to the Stranglewood, which we find to be horribly diseased. After meeting the locals... Oh shit, he's got... Oh no. Oh no, there's so many of them. Oh my god. Maybe I just run. We hole up in a little nearby building and meet a new friend, Cassandra. And who on Gillinor are you? He's a bit paranoid, to say the least. Of course, those old ruins. Oh, from the Garden of Tranquility quest. We may have alerted the Strangled accidentally, so Cassandra takes us downstairs to stage a defense. This section is pretty cool, just a little bit of tower defense and making sure that Cassandra doesn't die. Oh, come on man, you can live. 45 seconds. Yeah, we can live. Come on, you got 75%. After saving him, Cassandra sends us off to get some ingredients to make a stronger potion that should protect us from the disease far better. First, we head north to get some herbs. Why did I come up here? Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. It's all good, it's all good, it's all good. I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. This is fucking terrifying, actually. Maybe that will get me down there. You decide not to go in. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, berries, berries, berries. Herbs, 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 herbs. Get the fuck off me, man. Then south to get some berries. Trying our best not to alert a horde of Strangled on the way. Across that bridge. I need to go across that bridge. Let me out! Let me out! I just saw pick from Argian bush? Gimme. Now, we're after a key to the large central temple. Cassandra says it's probably at the ritual site, so we head off there. The new potion protects us from the Strangled disease, but they still cause damage, which hurts. Reaching the ritual site, it seems like there's a Strangled tied up in the center. We step over some rubble, and it's time for our first true boss battle of the quest. What? Oh, this is Vardorvis! This fight kicks ass. There are swinging axes, ground spikes to dodge, a head that I completely ignored in the quest version, but it turns out is really important later, and a brand new mechanic which I personally love, a virus, where the screen gets covered and you have to click on spores to make them go away quickly. I knew all those years of OS would come in handy. Alright, Vardorvis, let's have it. Ooh, the max spec! I'm out. Oh! Fuck, man. No, I died! I died in my house. Nice. One more hit. Oi! I fucking did it. Okay. Whew. Temple key. After the boss, we head back over to Kasande, and he's mad at us because, So we kill him. Fun little unique boss fight here. No, stop. Stop just chugging food and move! Oh my god. Before dying, he tells us where to find what we're looking for. The medallion. You'll find it in a chest back at my hideout. I hope it. We grab our first medallion and it's time to head back to the ruins. On the way back into the ruins, we get jump scared by a mysterious stranger. She threatens us for the medallion, we say no, she says please, we say no, she buggers off. Next up, Perseria the Leviathan. I need to find out what happened to Perseria. The information I found at the dig site suggested she was sucked into the abyssal rift in the Temple of the Eye. It turns out there have been a few developments in the fight against the Scar. There's a magical signal coming from within, so the Catalytic Guardian sends us in to check it out and... ew. Oh, good golly, there's demons and that. This place is fucking nasty. Inside we find Wizard Purston, who went missing during the Guardians of the Rift quest. It seems that she's been trapped here, sort of, but refuses to leave. There's apparently a huge fish creature in the lake that we need to deal with, and we'll need to lure it out by setting some shit on fire, which I can totally rock with. I'm great at burning stuff. It seems that all around this strange brain mattery area, there's a load of crashed ships from a huge fleet. Notes found along the way imply that it was a fleet led by the armies of Zaros, that has somehow ended up in a part of the abyss. Purston explains how it all worked, but I'm not going to pretend I understand the logistics of all this, I'm just here to set some shit on fire. While I hate the fleshy dungeon, I can't deny that the atmosphere is really cool. The notes tell a tale of a voyage gone horribly wrong, and powerful artifacts gone missing. The puzzles are pretty cool for the most part, but there are 3 sections with 3 puzzles each to solve, and by the third it starts to wear off a little bit. One of the puzzles though has us combining a bunch of nerves that correlate to runes, and is actually one of my favourite parts of the quest overall. How am I going to make nature? Soul and nature makes cosmic. Where do I get soul? Or a combination? Cosmic with steam. I need a combination. What combination haven't I tried? Smoke maybe? Fire and air, yeah. Maybe smoke and soul? Or smoke and blood? Wrath, there we go. By order of the Prefectus Classis, both Gellius and Valgus were later executed. That's interesting, let's burn this boat. Right, so we burn the ships and voila, the Leviathan has been led directly into our trap. It's time to fight. The Leviathan. Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh Jesus Christ. Another swing, another home run. This boss is a blast as well. Maybe on account of all the running about, but it feels very dynamic. There's a basic mechanic in using shadow spells to stun and run around the back to hit its weak spot for massive damage. And while that kind of thing could come off like a gimmick, it was fun to work out and helped the fight feel that bit more frantic and exciting. This one was a little harder to brute force in Vardorvis, but another boss I can't wait to fight again. We choke the snake. Hit 2. Are we done? Yes! We're done. And find Purston at the back of the island. She explains more about the Imperium and I pretend to understand to make her feel better. She dips, but makes it clear she won't be going right back to the Wizard Tower, which is suspicious for someone that's been missing for so long. Anyway, medallion number 2. Duke Cicellus. The information I found at the dig site suggested he was once based in Gorok Prison. I should be able to access the prison via the dungeon beneath Weiss. Gorok Prison. Ah yes, where the Muspra is. The one that hasn't given me a shard yet. That worm fuck. Guess I'll be just another boss here that won't give me another drop fucking ever fucking. I just want to drop, just give me the nice fucking shiny. We head to Vice. Conveniently, I have a house port with her for easy access to Musper who won't give me a shot. And we head to the door where we fought the assassin previously. Captain Miletta won't let us in, so I say please, and she says no, you'll die, and I say please, and also that'd be a good thing. And she says, okay then. We head in and get knocked out in like 2 seconds flat. Oh, Jesus, fuck. This area is massive, what the fuck is going on? After waking up, we find ourselves in a prison cell and all of our stuff is gone. There's a little hole in the wall through which we can start chatting to a mysterious stranger. After a quick search, we find a hairpin and he helps us break out of the cell. It turns out that the mysterious voice is the voice of the assassin we fought in the Secrets of the North. We've also seen him before in the Devious Minds quest when he stole a relic from Intrana. He explains the Marjarat Jalan locked us in the cells and took our stuff. He says we need to work together and hands over a lockpick. Exploring the dungeon, there are doors we can't unlock yet with gem-based keys from Sapphire all the way up to Dragonstone. Exploring around, we slowly uncover the story of a stronghold overflowing with refugees, a duke that refuses to help properly with allusions to him eating people, and the remnant of a dying empire barely clinging on to what little they have left up here. Guess we search this altar. You find a note on the altar. Queso, if you're reading this, you have no doubt already seen the horrifying truth for yourself. The Duke thinks he's destined to restore the Empire, at the small cost of all of our lives. You need to get out, as soon as you can. Unlike the puzzles in the Leviathan section, this part of the quest has a whole load of word-based puzzles and my mind got completely fried. Ink L-I. First letter of 1, 2. L-I-E. First letter of 3, 2. It's 3, 2. Lies. Lies! So vile. Do we have L? We do. We have I. Fucking hell. That was a bit much for me. That's a bit too smart for me. Did you think? Oh my god. Oh my god, what the fuck? Oh no. It's alright, man. It's alright, man. You don't have to chase me like that. You don't have to chase me like that. It's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool. It's cool. Don't just leave me alone. Just leave me alone, yeah? Is he gonna stop chasing me? I won't lie. I was trying to go through the quest with as little help from the wiki as possible, but at this point I'd taken a break and there was one puzzle that stumped me so entirely. Wolg. Nope. That I had to cheat a bit. This section by far took the longest, but we do end up recovering our stuff, and we help the assassin to trap and defeat Jalin. He's hitting all these freezes though. Why are there so many of him? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Oh, there's so much of him. Oh, these are just one hits. Okay, cool. I can get rid of these at least. Oh, here we go. After his decrepit ass has been taken care of, we head through the final door to find Duke Cicellus. This took place in England.
Oh, Muppets on Facebook thinking you're bad, mate. I'll line you for last money.
The Duke is magnanimous. This fight is the chillest by far. It's a fight of two halves. The first half we run up each set of stairs to grab some mushrooms, we crush them up and ferment them with the salts found in the centre. We then take the poisonous vials to wake the Duke and start the second half. From here he slams the floor or spits acid at us. The best strategy seems to be flinching the Duke behind the nearby pillars. Every now and then he opens his eye and we just gotta hide from the boss and then bam, he's done. Hey, oh, I nearly died. Ooh, fucking big stack of soul runes. I guess you can get normal drops off even the quest version of these guys. This fight is cool. I can see it being very farmable if the post-quest variant is this chill. We grab Medallion 3 and I'm worried that I might be attacked by the mysterious stranger again. Oh my god, he can appear in your house. What the fuck? Holy shit. Might have cacked myself a little bit. The final section. I need to find what happened to the Whisperer. The information I found at the dig site suggested she was last based at Lassar. Although Lassar has been long since destroyed, it's possible the city of Kamdazal, beneath Ice Mountain, was built atop the ruins. Apparently, some archaeologists recently set up a dig in Kamdazal. I should see if they can help me. After adding the third medallion to our collection, we head over to the Kamdazal vault and find that a couple archaeologists have set up a dig. At the back of the vault there's a massive hole. I'm not sure if that's been there the whole time. I did the quest and never came back. One of the archaeologists gives us a really long rope to head down into it, and below we find an ancient lost city. Yo. What the fuck? This place is sick. Oh my god. Jagex have outdone themselves. We try to explore what seems to be a sunken cathedral, but get taken away by something. When we're awake, we're confronted by Ketla, the lost Imkando dwarf. She's a bit sketchy. Even though we've opened an exit for her, she won't leave, saying she needs to deal with it, which I can only assume to be the Whisperer. She gives us a blackstone fragment, saying we can use it to enter the Shadow Realm. She says we need to find an icon down here or something, so I set off to do that. At this point, I need to be real with you. The puzzles in the previous two sections, as well as being like 8 or 9 hours into the play session, have me fried. In the days since the quest released, I've seen a lot of people complain about this section being confusing, but I actually loved it. Even though I was at my wit's end and exhausted, I managed to get through it in a pretty timely manner. Here we explore the city, jumping in and out of the Shadow Realm and finding schematics for objects to let us stay there for longer. While inside there are also remnants to touch that play out scenes of mysterious voices. From what I can piece together, it seems that a mysterious eldritch force cursed the city. They found a pillar which they felt compelled to just look at. Things got so bad to the point that a cult that sprang up around the pillar effectively took control. There was no saving them, and now the dead city lingers, and any who enter have their mind infested with strange whispers. The atmosphere during this part had my hairs standing on end. It was fantastic. The mods that built this should be very proud. After tracking down the icon, Ketla, who's still being weird, sends us down the central drain. And this happens. Am I about to walk into the final boss? Inspect ancient pillar. This is the pillar they were talking about. As you look upon the pillar, you feel the coldness wash over you, unlike anything you've felt before. What the fuck? Oh my god, it's all me. What do I do? What do I do? Is the judge already passed your sentence? It's whispering to me. What is this? What's happening? There is a truth written upon the Blackstone, and you cannot escape it. Come, Gilgadane. The silent choir awaits you. It is time for your eternal song. This isn't real. I know this isn't real. You cannot escape your fate, Gilgadane. The endless sea calls for you. Do you really think you can hide, Gilgadane? Do you really think you can save them? Oh fuck. Gilgadane. Watching this over and voicing this all, it's still giving me chills. It's a very impactful scene. We cut immediately back to Ketla, who pulled us out of there, saying we'd been gone for too long. She destroyed the totem, but apparently this place is too far gone already. She keeps acting really fucked up, but gives us the perfected shadow torch, which we can use to access the sunken cathedral, where we fight the fourth and final boss. Starting to sound like a broken record, but this fight is really cool. The basic attack mechanic keeps you on your toes. firing 3 shots which start as 3 of the same but start changing as the fight progresses. We also have a sanity meter to look out for, and getting hit by one of the tentacle attacks reduces our sanity. At various points of the fight, we need to activate the Blackstone Fragment to enter the Shadow Realm. In here there are special mechanics to take care of, including killing the correct ghosts, orb collection, and hiding behind broken pillars. Upon hitting 0, the boss regens and hits an enrage phase where it starts attacking super fast. Wait, oh no, it's got an enrage phase? And chases you around with tentacle attacks. I have a lot to say about this one, but we'll leave that for later. Have I done it? Oh, fuck! Oh my god, I was so focused. Holy shit. We drown the Whisperer and collect our final medallion. Time to head back up and finish this. For the final time, we head back to the vault, only to get locked up by the mysterious figure. Motherfucker, this is the second time this has happened in one day. We pick the lock easily and confront the stranger, and this is a fun little mini-boss. Just need a gear switch and we smack her ass about. We get our final medallion back and take it to the vault. What on earth? A worthy foe. Okay, I've got the medallion back. Nice. Then we get double-crossed by Asgarnia Smith. See? Evil. Everyone's really evil. He snatches the medallion and opens up the vault below, leaving us behind. We chase him down and find him stood before a horn. Before we can confront him properly though, we get interrupted by Zanadra, and then Haziel, and then Ankara, and then Akathankos, and after getting out of their clown car, they just fucking bicker like children. But apparently there's more Margaret here, and it's definitely not me, and it's definitely not Asgarnia Smith, it's Asgarnia Smith. It turns out that Mr. Smith is the Margaret Sliske in disguise, and he's been with us the whole time. He wasn't just Asgarnia Smith, he was also Perston, the Assassin, Kettler, and Kassondi. This whole time he was following us about. This also explains why they were all kind of weird and creepy. The Margaret all have some kind of disagreement, especially with Sliske, who seems to act independently of them, and Sliske pulls out the Barrows brothers. This is the true final fight of the quest. We take on each of the 4 companions and I barely survive. Oh my god, that's a big area. $15, just hit a 15. Yes! No food left. Oh my god. First try on those last 2. And the quest draws to a close. We're now involved in the business of the Margaret, whether we like it or not. Athanadra upgrades our ring, alludes to the coming ritual in the north, which I guess we have no choice but to attend, and that's the quest done. We fucking did it. Holy shit, that was 12 hours. They said it would take like 6 without a guide. It's done. It's done. Desert Treasure 2, the 4th Grandmaster quest has been completed. We get 5 quest points. The Ring of Shadows, an Ancient Lamp. Jeez. Holy shit. Okay then. And access to the 4 major bosses we fought as repeatable boss fights. Some of the most memorable quests come with the most memorable rewards. Desert Treasure 1 was no exception, giving us the Ancient Staff and the Ancient Magics upon completion. Ancient Magics are a huge part of OSRS, seeing loads of use in PvP and in-game PvM. With DT2, Jagex are looking to follow in this tradition with a plethora of rewards that are either unlocked during the quest or drop from one of the 4 bosses that we'll unlock. Originally, we were supposed to get our first new prayer book, echoing the addition of the Ancient Magics, which were at the time the first new spellbook. Unfortunately though, for many reasons, the Ruinous Prayers got cancelled very late into development. In my opinion, the idea of the Ruinous Powers, while cool, was filling me with dread as we march towards release of a Pandora's box of power creep in a game that showcases some of the greatest horizontal progression in any MMO. This isn't a place for my soapbox or for a nuanced take on that though. I'll most likely make a video on the subject of horizontal progression, but for now I've linked a fantastic video on the subject by Josh Strife Hayes. Aside from the 4 new solo bosses, one of the rewards we'll be getting is the Ring of Shadows. The Ring of Shadows, like the Brimstone Ring, gives a small bonus to every attack style, with the exception of 1 less magic bonus, and only +2 melee strength instead of +4. In place of those bonuses though, it offers a +2 prayer bonus, putting it above the Explorer's ring, but below all other rings that have a prayer bonus. It also offers unlockable teleports close to each of the bosses. Overall, it's a pretty nice looking untradeable. I imagine it will see a lot of use in the wilderness for PVMers trying to make budget setups for revs or bosses. Due to its similarity to the Brimstone ring, I wouldn't be too surprised if the Brimmy dropped in price, even if this is locked behind a Grandmaster quest. I've sold off my Brimstone ring just in case of a crash. That's only one ring though, and we have 8 fingers and 2 thumbs, so how do we stop the other fingers feeling naked? Well, each of the 4 bosses dropped upgrade components to create one of the 4 new powerful rings. Say goodbye to the Fremennik rings, which have been best in slot for 18 years? These are the hot new best in slot rings to replace them. The new rings are created by combining the components with broken down Fremennik rings, similar to how Torva takes Bandosian components to make. This should help the old rings keep most of their value. While the components are untradeable, the crafted rings aren't, and crafting them requires 90 magic and 80 crafting. I'm not an economist by any means, but these are going to be pricey, perfect for a player like me to make a quick buck off on launch, as long as I don't get a repeat of Venator shards. I'm still fucking dry. We're blinged out, but if we want to earn our place in the Shadow Wizard money gang, we need to get dripped out. Oh, wow. Would you look at that? DT2 has it all. Each of the bosses has a chance to drop any of the 3 pieces of Virtus. For a long time there's been no middle ground between the pricey Arims and the extortionate Ancestral, and now Virtus comes along to Amigara fault its way in. These are pretty tasty robes that should offer hope to any losers trying to get their first Infernal Cape who struggle to get to the mage waves consistently. We're not done yet though. You want an axe? Too bad, you're getting one anyway. Give a warm welcome to the Soul Reaper axe. This axe drops in 4 pieces which combine to form the two-hander. From a purely design standpoint, it's as good as sex, I think. I wouldn't know, I don't have that. As a base, the axe offers some pretty huge bonuses for a two-hander. Not super outstanding, but for a 5-tick melee weapon, it's nothing to turn your nose up at. The axe has a pretty nuts special effect where you build up stacks to increase your strength bonus. I'm pretty certain this won't see a huge amount of use in PvP, but there's a solid chance the Soul Reaper could see a reasonable amount of use in PvM. This is definitely a niche weapon, which I'm sure players far smarter than me will find some great uses for. Okay, so as if all that wasn't enough, we got 5 rings, we got Virtus, we got a big old two-hander axe, we got gems. The Ancient Scepter released with the Secrets of the North quest and has been a pretty nice upgrade to the Ancient Staff, but it feels like there's something missing. A gaping hole. Each of the bosses has a chance to drop a sigil of their ancient magic's element, those being blood, ice, smoke, and shadow. Combining a sigil with the Ancient Scepter will imbue it with those elements, giving it an effect when using ancient magics of that type. Blood magic overheals by 10%, ice magic has 10% accuracy on unfrozen, freezable target, smoke spells reduce the healing received by 20% for 10 cycles on hit if the target is poisoned, and shadow spells now also drain strength and defense in addition to the target's attack level. Would you believe it? That's all for the rewards. It's impressive how conservative Jagex has been with them. Really wish we got a few more. Now all that's left is to go dry on everything. Ooh, who's this? Hello. If I had to give a review of the quest, I'd say it was great. Okay, but seriously, each section of this quest was insane. I think my favourite was the Whisperers section, just because the atmosphere of it all really got to me, and crawling around the city trying to make progress in the Shadow Realm was a lot of fun. I'd put Vadorvis in close second. I felt pretty genuine fear around the Strangle Roots when they came to chase me. It was just unnatural, and the area looked incredible. The Gorok prison was definitely very fun. It felt almost like a Zelda dungeon, and it ramps up when Jalan starts stalking you. But the puzzles were a bit much for me in my little brain. I think the Leviathan section in the Scar was the only part that I didn't rate, just because it felt like it dragged a bit, but the puzzle ideas were really creative, and the story we learned along the way was really cool. Overall, this quest was incredible. Everyone that worked on it should celebrate. It's easily among my favourite quests in the whole game. I have to give them props too. There was a lot going on in each section, a lot of new mechanics, areas, bosses and enemies, a lot of which has never been seen in old school before, and the whole thing worked flawlessly. The game runs on an old engine, but you can really tell that the team put their all into it, really understand how to get the best out of the game now. Huge props to the tech team at Jagex. The big question I have now, where do we go from here? I'm going to call it now. Raids 4 will be Marjarat themed, and will be the continuation and finale of this questline. Call me crazy, but think about it. No other Grandmaster quest has had a follow-up. How do you follow up a Grandmaster? It'd have to be with another GM quest or a raid, surely. Bookmark my prediction. If I'm wrong, then feel free to come back to this video and call me a moron, and also like it while you're at it and sub to my Patreon. Now let's talk the bosses. After a few KC at each boss, I want to give them an early ranking just to get my thoughts out there, as I have a lot. I'll be ranking on fight design, fun, and setting/flavor. Quick disclaimer though, I don't have a lot of KC and have only done the normal post-quest versions of each boss. These rankings also mean basically nothing but to show how I personally feel about each boss. You might feel differently, and I just want to be clear that that is fine. You're allowed to be wrong. For fight design, I'd put the Duke in last. It's a fun fight, but I think the least engaging after a few kills. I like the idea behind it, but in execution it gets old pretty quickly. It's very farmable though. In third, I'd put the Leviathan, and using shadow spells to stun and run is fun. Timing the mechanic well is very satisfying. No real downsides, but I feel that the other two were just better. In second, I'd put the Whisperer. You kind of always feel on your toes, but hitting all the mechanics is very satisfying, especially when you get through the fight taking no damage at all. Very dynamic, very engaging. My only gripe is that the enrage phase feels a bit too punishing. One mistake kills the fight, which makes the lengthy run back even more of a drag. Even after learning the fight, it is still tricky, and that enrage phase got me kinda mad. In first place though, it's gotta be Vardorvis. The way the fight can get hectic on a dime, the spawn mechanic, the careful movement required between stressful overlaps, it's just such a rush. Even after learning it and getting about 20 KC, it doesn't feel like wash, rinse, repeat just yet. Definitely one of the best bosses Jagex has made thus far. Fun! This one is highly subjective, and I won't explain too much, but I put the Whisperer in last. That enrage phase really got me enraged. In third, I'd have to put the Leviathan. Lots of movement, great fight. In second is the Duke. It might be a bit samey each time, but it's very easy to settle into farming the Duke, and personally I find that to be quite fun. To be honest, I do like how the first phase of the fight breaks things up a bit too, and of course, Vardorvis in first. Sick fight. Again, somewhat subjective here, but for setting and flavour, I've got to put the Leviathan in fourth. The brain matter just makes my skin crawl a bit, and the arena feels a bit sparse. It just feels uninteresting when the other bosses have such cool arenas. Next up, Vardorvis. I love a snowy arena. I think it works mechanically very well, and the axe being picked up from outside the arena as the fight starts is a very nice detail. In second, the Duke. I mean, look at him. This whole area was really cool to explore. It's oozing with atmosphere. Speaking of oozing with atmosphere though, I of course have to put the Whisperer in first. I love the fight arena, the area gave me chills, and the mechanic really plays with the whole Shadow Realm thing really well. So, thus far being so close to the release of the quest, we don't have the official drop rates just yet. I'm sure Jagex will release them in a week or two. There seem to be some strange drop mechanics around the rings that people are getting leery about. Personally, I have no opinion either way at the moment. I usually go dry on stuff anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me much. I'm excited to see what cool tech people come up with in the boss fights, what the Awaken fights will look like, and where we go from here. I fucking love this quest. Again, congrats to Jagex, this is such a huge achievement. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, check out my series Infernal Dream. I'm close to halfway of my overall goal now, tackling the Inferno. I work really hard on these videos, and it's thanks to patrons like Charlie, Maya, James, and Bimbo Bintus that I can keep going. If you want to support the channel, then check out the Patreon in the description below. Don't forget to like and sub, it means the world, and happy bossing everyone. Some sort of goatsy. I can't put that in. I can't put that in. Or can I?